Hi, I'm Ty Kerr here with Perry Denehy of the Mason Historical Society. Mr. Denehy, tell us a little about yourself.
Well, welcome to the Historical Society. I'm an old timer. My family moved to Mason in 1965. A lot of school connections. My mom was an elementary school teacher for Little Miami schools, and my dad was a guidance counselor at Mason High School back when there was probably only 700 students. And so I went through Mason schools K through 12, graduated in 1979, went to Miami University for athletic training and secondary school education, and was employed by Sycamore High School, our good friends, the Aviators, down at Sycamore for 33 years, retired 2 years ago, and that's allowed me to put more volunteer time here at the Historical Society.
All right. So, I don't have many questions because a lot of them are answered on the Mason Historical Society's website. But firstly, sir, how many members of the Mason Historical Society are there total?
We have folks from all over the country. They obviously don't have to just live in Mason. And, not a huge mailing list, but we have, I think it's 140 members.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
It's quite the size. Second question, now I know that you hold events pertaining to the history of Mason, like the Cemetery Walk in October or various historical marker plaques, but what else does the Historical Society do?
Well, of course, we opened this building, this 1890 Victorian home, which was given to us by Alberta Green, and it is open 3 days a week, Thursday and Friday afternoons from 1 to 4 p.m. and then Saturday mornings from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. So we'd like to have visitors come up, even if they're not members, of course, and visit us. We also do monthly programs like the Cemetery Walk, but some months it might be a guest speaker that's maybe talking about President Lincoln's administration, or it might be someone from the Cincinnati Railroad Museum. So those are all available on our website, and from month to month there's quite a variety of topics that we host here in this building usually on a Monday night.
All right.
Third Monday of the month.
Okay. Thirdly, I saw some of the old pictures of Mason that are on the Society's website, and I was wondering how some of those are gathered. Are they donated, or are they simply found, or what? Okay.
Well, our society, the Historical Society, was founded in 1979 by a group of probably 50 Mason residents at that time. They met originally, before we had this building, this house, they met upstairs at what is now Two Cities Pizza.
Oh, right.
Which upstairs was the courtroom and the city council. And they just started gathering items that folks were willing to donate from their basement or up in their attic. So, we didn't really spend money for all these items. It was just families that felt in order to share them with a larger group of folks, they would donate them to our society rather than keep them hidden in their basements.
Okay. Fourth, now I know that you eventually moved into the Alberta Green Museum, but before the Historical Society moved into the Alberta Green Museum, where was the home base of sorts?
Well, that was a little before my time. They originally met, which was, I go back long enough, the buildings that I'm familiar with, the buildings are still there, but they have a different purpose.
Yeah.
So Petrelli's Restaurant.
Really?
On 4th Avenue, or 3rd Avenue.
I know what you're talking
across from Baysworth's Flower Shop.
Yeah.
That was the post office building.
Oh, all right.
And then we had a small room, a little office just off of the post office.
Okay.
Yeah. And,
so it was right, central, in a sense.
It was central, but very small.
Okay, that's understandable.
Yeah.
So if you're at liberty to share, what are some of the Society's plans for the future? Are there any big projects that you're allowed to tell us about?
Well, I'm not sure if you're going to be showing much of the building itself in your video. I know our viewers can't necessarily see the room that we're sitting in other than this angle, but this is an addition that we put on 2 years ago. We got a grant from the state of Ohio for $300,000.
Okay.
So we added on to the 1890 Victorian home. So with that, we feel pretty comfortable with our physical appearance. We've been able to remodel the main house, replace the windows, replace the roof, heating, air conditioning. We almost have a maintenance-free building right now that's paid for.
Despite the age, completely
Despite the
maintenance-free.
age. So what appears to be wooden siding is actually a concrete material that will never need painting.
Oh, wow.
Yes, I forget the name of the hardy board. So, as our members get older, we don't need to be climbing ladders.
Yeah.
So there was a little added expense to begin with, but in the long run, you figure we're not gonna have to paint it, we're not gonna have the walls, that type of thing. So with the building itself being in good shape, great shape, I think we can focus on some other projects throughout the city. Would you mind if I share?
Oh, fine.
Possibility?
Absolutely.
A lot of old-time Mason folks will remember at Rose Hill Cemetery, there was a grave, there still is a grave, that had a fish pond in front of it, the Wilkins family. And I can remember as a boy being in the cemetery, and I didn't know where it was necessarily, but as I'd walk by, I would find it, and it was filled with goldfish. And you would sit there and watch it, and I guess I didn't really know why it was there. Later, I found that family at the time donated money to have that put in. They are long since, dead, obviously, but their money has run out, so it would take additional fundraising on part of perhaps the Historical Society that we would try to raise enough money to renovate that, because currently there's no fish. The hole itself is a little unsafe. It's not filled with water, it's just there.
Just a ditch.
Just a ditch. So I think it would be neat for us to take on projects like that, to renew some of the old Mason landmarks.
The oddities of the
city. Yeah, that would make, Mason's a unique town, but those types of things. Other future projects, we're always looking for new members. So I think what we're missing out on is, like I said, I'm from the class of 79, and I think it's a misconception that you have to be old to be in the Historical Society. The graduating class of 2015 is part of Mason's history. Yeah. So we need folks who are 15, 25, 55, 20, all ages. And we have a few of you high school students that have expressed some interest. And that's what we love, to mix the older folks with the younger people, because eventually we're going to move on, and this organization is going to need young people to carry it on.
All right, well, Mr. Denehy, I sincerely thank you for your time and allowing me to come and ask you these questions. Really appreciate it.
I hope we get a good grade.
We'll see.
All right, thank you.